Hello, it's me. Starmer, Mandelson and Mossad, it's worse than you think. Now, I don't care who it is. Whether it's Mossad, the Americans, Russia, or Disney World, nobody should be meddling in our politics. But as I'm fond of saying on this channel, politicians in this modern age appear to be entirely captured. And just like in the American political system, lobbying, it seems, is the way business is done. Palms crossed with silver, whispers in ears, and who knows, threats? We've known for quite some time that honeypot traps laid by nation states in order to coerce and cajole various politicians into a certain way of thinking are not new. They're as old as the hills. There was an old spy called Matahari, who, if I remember correctly, specialised in this kind of thing. And so here we are. Mandelson, the current political idiot, who's managed to get himself caught up in a complete mess. Mandelson was entirely captured by Epstein, who is a known Mossad agent, and hey presto, some years later, Palantir have got all the British contracts. If you don't know who Palantir are, look it up. Heavily involved with Israel. Now, just to be clear, do I think Israel are acting incorrectly? No. Israel are looking out for their interests. And in the same way that America looks out for interests, and if Britain had any honest politicians, we'd be looking out for our interests too, then I don't have a problem with that. The problem I have is the lengths that they go to. I'm thinking of all the conspiracy theories that I've ever read about what governments have done in order to retain and gather more power. But it turns out in the modern age, there is very little conspiracy. As it turns out, it's all nearly true. That old saying, there's no smoke without fire, and if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck, are actually true. The political shenanigans that are being played out around the world are played out not very secretively. We just don't see or hear of them for two reasons. One, socially speaking, they're above our pay grade, and two, the media outlets that are supposed to keep us informed are, quite frankly, captured too. It's not just the politicians we have to worry about. It's the media influencers. It's our newsreaders. And I would argue specifically the newsreaders of the BBC. I wonder daily as a licence fee payer how many of my newscasters, how many of my pundits, and how many of my TV influencers are in fact in the pay of the state. But one thing is clear, as we move forward and this Epstein Papers debacle unfolds, British politics, British business has been hung, drawn and quartered, and doled out evenly between various political and private interests. British politics is rotten, and the further we look into this, we'll see Israel's hand in everything. With the help of the US, Israel has acted, it seems, unchallenged, winding their way through British politics and media and having, quite frankly, an undue influence over anything and everything that matters. Mandelson should pay the price for his indiscretions. He shouldn't remain untouched, as many of them have done. I, for one, would like to see a prosecution, and I would like to see that prosecution publicly held. I don't consider myself a particularly vindictive or hateful person. I try to be kind in everything that I say and do, but in Peter Mandelson's case, I would love to see him sitting in court. I would watch every day just to see him squirm. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. It would help the channel a lot. And until next time, do look after yourselves.